welcome to the League, exploring the League of Legends lore from A to Z. My name is Rebecca.
And I'm John.
My name is Mark.
Today we're talking about the Berserker, Olaf, who was released. I saw some discrepancy.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
The LOL, I don't remember where the one place I said June 8th, 2010, but the LOL wiki says June 9th,
Oh,
2010.
shit.
Should be
Another shared birthday?
Yeah.
Please tell me it's June 9th. Please tell me we got
hope
like
so.
a weird cursed league birthday.
Who was it that was just released on y'all's birthday? Was it Belveth? Yeah. Belveth, I think. All right. Yeah, Olaf's an old one. I thought he was going to be 2009 for some reason. I mean, 2010, 2009. What the fuck? It was all before I was playing League.
Yeah,
But-
it's all the yesteryears.
Sure. I thought so
I
too.
separate my league into who was in the launch cinematic, and then who do I remember being released when I started playing.
okay.
And then
That's fair.
everyone else could have been any time.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say 2009. I was really shocked, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Olaf.
Olaf, what does Olaf sound like?
What does Olaf sound like? He's got like 6 quotes.
So I just listened to Olaf 3 minutes ago because I'd forgotten to look it up. I don't think I'd ever heard him because I've played Olaf before, probably in like ARAM, not recently. But I think he sounds like a bear with a mouthful of marshmallows.
Yeah, or just like a man with a mouthful of like gravel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
So
it.
what he sounds like, faster to battle. That's my Olaf impression.
Boraxes.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
The might of Lokfar approaches.
God, that was a good one. You did good on that
Yeah.
one. Can we get
was really
Brolofs
good.
in here, though? Because that's the real, the true Olaf.
Chug,
Dude.
chug.
I'm so buffed up right now.
So good. That's still such a good skin. That's so funny.
I'm glad that he has a line that actually pronounces Lokfar, because I had no idea how to pronounce it, and I assumed it was pronounced like I always pronounced it like the Warcraft, like Lokfar Odar.
Yeah, that's how I would
uh,
think to pronounce it.
But then I listened to his quotes. I was like, oh shit, it's a Lokfar? The
That's-
fuck?
Maybe he says it wrong.
He's just caught up in his bloodlust and he forgets how to fucking. Well.
It tracks.
Yeah. So what's he got on the universe page?
So
Not a lot.
No, he
Not
has-
nearly as many stories as he has written.
no, he has a bio, and then there's one short story linked, Shadow and Fortune, which we've gone over 8 bajillion times at this fucking point. I didn't even click it.
And we're gonna do it again.
I think. Yeah, shit. Yeah, we are, because we're going to do a Thresh. Fuck. I was really hoping that this would be the last one.
Shit.
Damn it.
You're right. And then some other champ will get released, and for some reason it'll be on their universe page too, even if they're not in it.
Right, just tangentially related or some shit.
Yeah.
Talking about Raffin 2023.
That's true. I mean, he's already made an appearance in the Ruined King game. He's basically a character. I mean, for everything I know about him, though, he's dependable, but yeah, well, he stayed alive, so he's not useless. But he's much less useful than everyone around him.
He's just a guy.
So
Yeah,
a
he's
Huey.
just a guy
You're right. Bomb-ass / fiction, but that's about it.
and gets easily swindled by fake Demacian steel.
Yeah. Olaf is a pretty major player in Dead of Winter, which was released with The Call. It's like 6 months ago, something like that. I meant to rewatch The Call and I fucking forgot. I even said it like a few hours ago when we were on the couch in front of the TV where I could have easily rewatched The Call. I forgot to do it. It's fine. I have seen it.
I'll
Yeah.
sing it to you, and then it'll be like you're rewatching it.
Thanks, hon. No. I'm good.
200% volume, just like overpower everything.
I did rewatch it more than once because we did a Patreon reaction to it.
Yeah, we did a reaction, and then,
And then
we
we
did a
botched
breakdown
it.
the lore
Yeah,
for it.
so-
We botched both of our attempted
did.
Patreon
Yeah.
content for that video. That was a cursed video. Maybe it's
Right?
better you didn't watch it again.
Okay.
All right, who wants to do the bio?
I got it. It's the only thing I have notes on. Oh god. Sorry. There's just wires everywhere. Oh, you're drinking a beer, Mark? Damn.
I might be.
Graggy ice.
You are prepared. All right, so Olaf was a normal, angry warrior in the Freljord. He's from Lokfar, as we have established, where the worst fate one could have is a boring death from old age. Olaf was really arrogant about his conquest, which an elder began to grow tired of, so he challenged Olaf to take a peek at his fate. He did this by throwing the knuckles of a long-dead beast into the fire. I'd really like to know more about this procedure. But
It's kind of like, casting bones.
Yeah. The bones predicted he would have a long life and a nice, quiet death, which was very insulting. Olaf decided to seek great beasts to prove his fate was wrong and go down in battle gloriously. But his Berserker mode kept saving his life.
He goes angry mode.
He's
too good.
He's too good. He doesn't want to lose on purpose, and he's just too good. Nothing can beat him. Finally, he decided to instead take on the Winter's Claw, figuring that they could kill him. Sejuani sent the charge after him, but Olaf cut everyone down. But his fight with Sejuani ended in a draw. Because they're both champions in League of Legends. One can't beat the other. So Sejuani offered Olaf a glorious death if he fought alongside her during her conquest. And that's kind of all we got.
Yeah.
Very Nyla-esque.
She gives him her magical bedroom eyes, which seems to be the only thing that can cut through his Berserker
John.
haze.
It is very
know about that.
Nyla-esque.
Yeah, the whole searching for beasts. Although we don't. Why is she searching for beasts? I don't know. Making a name for herself? I don't remember. We just did this in an episode.
She has 3 potential reasons.
Something.
There it is. At least we know why Olaf was hunting beasts.
That's what I think. Is that he doesn't have a lot written. It's like we said. He's kind of in Shadow and Fortune. But for being so similar to Nyla, I think he's a lot more. Obviously, he's a lot more simple, but it makes him a lot more easy to kind of grasp as a character almost. And it's a fun little conceit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does not care about any of this end of the world shit, except apparently the Ruination. I don't know. We'll get to that with the Sentinels. But I feel like, in my opinion, he doesn't seem to care. He's very self-centered and probably not going to change. Although I would be interested to see what long-term fighting by Sejuani could potentially do to him. I don't know if that would change him in any way.
It's a good question. The thing I think with Olaf that could be a lot of fun, and I think you get little hints of it maybe in Shadow and Fortune, is that, because of the fact that his whole his if he dies, that's the end of his character arc for obvious reasons, right? I mean, aside from the fact that he's dead. But I think you could really play around with it, and it's almost becomes kind of like black comedy, in that you can do anything to him as a writer, right? And he will still live through it. You could even. I think what would be fun would be to have it be that fate itself has twisted around to give him that shitty peaceful death, right? He's yeah, and it's and then you can do a lot of crazy shit with that, and you have a lot of fun with it, and you just throw him at anything, and how's he going to survive this? Because he has to, right? He's ordained to.
It's kind of I don't remember characters' names. I only saw Deadpool 2 once, but the character who was really lucky and that was her superpower. That's kind of like that.
Yeah, I was thinking from Metal Gear Solid 2.
Was it Domino?
Domino, yeah. And then MGS2.
I don't know.
There's I don't remember what her name is, but she's her whole shtick is that she can't die, and bullets will go around her and shit. So it's kind of similar, right? Where she just wants to die, and he's kind of in the same boat, right? And so you have tons of fun with something like that.
Yeah, I could see that. And then his nice, peaceful, quiet death, he's just so mad about it.
Rumpf scowling to his death.
Yeah.
Reading his bio was like reliving every game I've ever played against an Olaf. Where he just sends scores of people at him and he's just dunker.
Especially in the current state of League.
Well, that's why he hasn't really changed that much in his in-game design, right?
Yeah, it's been pretty consistent.
I think so. I think just items right now.
Including even his icons. This is a man who's gone through no changing.
There's a reason he's got 6 lines.
One of his icons came up on Maldo the other day. We were like, what the fuck? Is this 2009 bullshit?
I'm trying to think. I know there's some purple squiggles and there's an orange squiggle.
I don't even remember. Yeah.
Now, one thing about this this bio, the first line says, most men would say that death is a thing to be feared. None of those men would be Olaf. This is the first of two not like the other guys moments that Olaf has in his stories that I
I
really
didn't think about that. He's a pick me guy.
yeah.
That's great.
I'll bring when we get to the other story, I'll bring it up too. The second one's even better.
I think I know which one you're talking about. He doesn't have a lot, so it's like
I know,
even
right?
a guess.
So if they were to rework Olaf, because I could see that happening, not in-game wise, but like a visual update, right? Has he had a visual update or anything?
I don't think so. Maybe some particle and like effects to like clean it up a little. I would bet.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
What do you think that they would do to his lore? Maybe that would be different.
I kind of hope they wouldn't do much to it. 'Cause like I said, I think it's not like the most original thing, but it is a fun, straightforward thing. It's a really good like guest D&D character, like for a one session.
That's true.
Because they're expendable, right?
Yeah.
Or like a reoccurring NPC
Yeah,
who keeps like
right?
surviving encounters, something like that.
You know what I would like them to do to his lore? Maybe give him his own goddamn story and have him stop being a sidekick in his own side story.
Yeah, that would be nice. If at the bio there was a little link that said read Olaf's story instead of fucking nothing. That'd be nice.
He doesn't have a color story. Did he ever have a color story and it's just gone? You don't know when you did the old lore, you didn't see anything?
No.
Wow. You're fucking right. I didn't even think about that. Not even like a little, like he goes into a bar and picks a fight with someone story, which like I think is their default color story.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the thing is that like Shadow and Fortune, it might as well be his color story. And it's like,
I guess.
he's such an easy
You get
win
his
from a-
voice, which is nice, but
he's an easy win from a lore perspective because I think anybody with half a brain could write the Olaf color story.
Yes.
Like, it's just do it. You get a few easy pieces of lore that can be fun, you know?
Just do it, Riot. Give
Just do
Olaf a color story 12 years later.
Get an AI to write it. It would probably figure it out, you know? Like,
Oh man, I'd love that.
I don't know.
All right,
Like,
everyone's homework. Write an Olaf color story.
right.
Olaf was angry. He went and fought and didn't die. And he's still angry. Like, there you go, right? It's
Yeah.
easy peasy.
Like there's a reason. There's a whole fan comic called Olaf versus everything.
Yeah, honestly, right? Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they would do. They'd probably make him more connected to stuff. I mean, I think you could do more with, like, the Winter's Claw stuff, because I feel like they giving us more info on what they're up to. I know they're getting Ornn's soup or whatever, but having them,
God, I forgot about that. Yeah.
right? But having them do something a little more interesting, like maybe they got
Then
the
getting
soup.
Mark, what could be more interesting?
You know what? I stand fucking corrected. Right?
They go to the store. They go to the Campbell's aisle.
Cream of mushroom.
I can make a casserole with this.
Hey, Thanksgiving's
Those
coming
white
up.
American shit.
Chef Born RD.
Shut the fuck up.
Somebody, any artist out there, please make a Chef or an RD.
Is there any champion that like is like a Fate Weaver type? I'm trying to think. I can't remember champions right now. I don't know.
I
think
don't
like
The
so.
closest we could come is maybe Zillion.
Maybe. I don't know.
I haven't
Wouldn't that
gotten
be
to Z
fun?
yet.
Zillion is like purposely trolling Olaf for some reason. He's died in 1,000 other
They had-
realities.
They had like a spat once over soup. Obviously.
You're trying to see who
Ornn
can get
got
more
the
soup in their
last.
beard.
Oh, I was gonna say Ornn got the last bowl of soup, and Zillion, he had a day, man, and he was gonna get some soup. He was looking forward to it while at work the whole time.
Now he just follows. Olaf around, alting him anytime he's about to die.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's great.
Oh, I think there is actual fuck. There's something there. I do kind of like it. But yeah, if they treated him a little like a Mundo type almost, because there's kind of some similarities there too, right? They're both very you can just do anything to them and they'll both live through it. So you can play with some that idea of it. Could be fun.
Yeah, it'd be fun, and like get good. I mean, you can get good comedic writing for that too. Like he'd be a good combination where like he can do serious stories, but he can also do comedic stories fine. Like I feel like his role in Shadow and Fortune was like more comedic.
Oh yeah,
despite
absolutely.
it being actiony, and then his Dead of Winter was kind of more serious. Like he fits equally well into both of them. You
in
just
Rise of the Sentinels,
so don't
he
just
released
don't get
gas from every orifice.
You just got to be careful, you know.
Right, you just gotta know
Hilarious.
like what's comedic about him. It's not that he's constantly farting, right? Hilarious though it is, you know. But yeah.
We can only take the pull my finger so many times. Olaf. All right, so who wants
Speaking
to...
of Shadow and Fortune,
Like
by Graham McNeil.
Shadow and Fartune.
How about you shut the fuck up, Mark?
That's fair.
You're yelling at John for Chef Ornardi.
Yeah, his was way better.
You came up with Shadow and Fortune. You have a younger baby, so I'm going to let it slide.
Oh, okay.
You're probably getting less sleep than us.
Yeah, exactly.
And I liked it.
I'm running on an empty tank right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do it. I mean, we've talked about the main plot a million times. I think the thing to know with Olaf is that for the most part, he almost is like a cameo. Whereas like Lucian and Misfortune and others and Ilaoi kind of intermingle a lot more, Olaf will show up like just a little bit with them, and he just kind of goes along with them, and I don't think does anything when he's with them, and then just leaves, and he's back off to his own little thing. So he's just like this little plot line that runs kind of parallel. But the harrowing has come to Bilgewater. Olaf is there. He had come down with his crew on the ship called the Winter's Kiss, and they had slain a kraken worm, and they were going to try and slaughter it and sell it. And I don't know if they're going to take the proceeds back to the Winter's Claw or whatever. They want money. And it starts out with him like 3 hours deep into cutting into this thing. He's down in his guts, and he takes out a tooth, and he steps out, and the fucking harrowing shows up. And it kills the rest of his crew, and Olaf's like, yeah, this is it. This is good. I'm all about this fucking life. And then the ghost of the kraken worm shows up, and he's like, yes, there's even like a poetic like, I killed it, and it's gonna kill me. We could fight each other for eternity, maybe. He fucking loves it. That being said, it eventually throws him, and he gets kind of tangled up in sheets, and then along come Misfortune and Lucian, and they cut him free, and he just kind of travels with them for a bit. Like it doesn't say that he does anything, and they're kind of looking out over the city, and he's just looking for that worm, and he sees that worm and just jumps off a fucking cliff to go fight that worm. And then the last thing we see is like after the whole thing has happened, he kind of washes up amongst the ruins. He's pulled up on a ship by someone who's kind of like, you know, pillaging the ruins post harrowing, and the guy's gonna steal Olaf's axe, but Olaf wakes up and says, "Don't take that fucking axe, or I'll kill you." That's mostly it.
Yeah. Now, I feel like this story has something that is going to bother me about Olaf in like all of his stories. His whole thing, right, is wanting to go down fighting this massive beast. And we specifically, like, and he does fight the shadow of this beast when the Ruination comes, like, all by himself, but it also says like, oh yeah, we fought this kraken worm. Technically there were like 30 other guys that stabbed it first, but like I got the killing stab, so like that's still pretty good for me, right? Like, bitch, go fight this guy by yourself. You want to die. Why are you letting 30 other people stab it first? Go fight this asshole.
That's a good point. I do like he's thinking about it, and he's like, there was a moment where the ship was about to keel over, and I was going to get thrown into its maw, and then the helmsman damned his strong shoulder right at the fucking thing. So I feel like
write that down. But then Svarvel the helmsman, curse his mighty shoulder, centered the rudder to right the ship, and all I could think of was fucking Homer Simpson with stupid sexy Flanders. Stupid sexy Svarfell.
What an old pull.
I love it. But yeah, I would have liked to have seen a little snippet of that fight where maybe he is like yelling at them to stop throwing harpoons and shit. You know, and he's like just demanding like, no, like, fuck off, stop. I want it to fucking kill me.
This is mine, damn it.
There's also one moment in the story that seemed pretty lazy. The Freljordian named himself Olaf, a warrior of the rightful mistress of ice, and after shaking off his concussion, he declared his intentions to join them until he could fight the most dangerous spirit within the Black Mist. Seems very like, just like describing a lot of stuff that could have been a fun, like, actual interaction. I feel like they did this a few other stories, too, where they were like, and then she went off with all the passion that on a tirade and doesn't actually tell you what she says or anything like that. I know, it just seemed very much like they could have done something fun with it, but they were like, we'll fill it in later.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I don't know, maybe it was like they were kind of running up against like a length thing, because there's like a lot in here that's going on with Lucian and Misfortune, and maybe it was like they're just trying to edit it down where they could, and Olaf is not as important a piece, but it would have been fun. I agree.
Yeah. Misfortune also says at some point that all ice dwellers are mad, and that's just because she hasn't met her boy Brahm yet, because the Ruined King happens after this. But don't worry, she'll fall in love soon enough, like everyone else in that game to Brahm.
Yeah. But yeah, I think there's it's almost like slapstick comedy, the way this thing like hurls Olaf about, and he's like crashing through buildings and shit. And the fact that he's not dead, like I'm telling you, there is something at work that is keeping his ass alive. And I kind of like it. 'Cause you can do anything to him, and he'll get back up, you know?
Yeah, or it's just like a gross misunderstanding of how the human body would survive slamming into walls so powerfully they go through them.
He's big.
He's big.
I know he's big. He's not the Incredible Hulk.
It means he has more HP. He's got more meat points.
That's true. I'm constantly hitting him with skill shots, and he just stands there.
Seriously. I do like at the very start, one thing I kind of liked about Olaf in this little interaction at the start, because he's inside this worm, and he's cutting it up, and he gets this big-ass tooth, and he's like, okay, this is good. And he exits out through the asshole. And this passing fisherman's like, did that thing just shit you out? And he immediately has like a little line of like, oh yeah, I couldn't pay the fare, so I let it swallow me, and it took me south. He's a little quick-witted. And I kind of found that a little surprising about Olaf.
Right?
Yeah, because you definitely don't hear that in his quotes at all.
No.
The fisherman said, what? But, yeah, I don't know. He's even in like the other one, the soup story. I don't remember what it's called.
Dead of Winter.
Dead of Winter. He's kind of a little poetic. You know, he speaks in a way where he's not like super dumb, I guess is what I think. You know, he's a little more, I don't know, not poignant. It's like he's a little eloquent, more so than I expect for a guy who like can barely speak when he's in his battle rage and is like chewing his cheeks up and shit. Also, my God, the fucking canker sores. I had like 3 canker sores this week. I cannot fucking imagine chewing my cheeks to like a pulp.
But why do you have so many canker sores? Are you okay, Mark?
I think it's a stress thing.
Probably. Why are you stressed? What? You're fine.
I know, right? Just easy street, just coasting over here.
Well, next story, also by Graham McNeil, is Dead of Winter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess we only talked about this in the fall thing, right? We didn't talk about this on an episode, is that?
Yeah, right.
I think so, because I don't think there's anyone in it that we'd hit yet, or people we'd already done them. Like Leona's in it, but we had already done Leona.
Yeah.
She's not in this, but she's in the call. Never mind. Leave me alone.
The Call, the Fall. Who knows?
The Call, the Fall, Dead of Winter, Soup, whatever. It's all the same shit.
So I guess maybe there's people who are like, what the fuck are they talking about soup? What are these assholes on about?
I know. They're like, wait, I didn't. Was there soup in the call? There's just soup splashing everywhere.
And it's strewn all over the fucking place.
It's
rivers of tomato. What's your favorite soup?
Oh, wow.
Oh, shit.
I love soup. I don't know if I could choose one.
I like it. I'm a chowder man myself.
Oh, yeah. And
Man,
it kind of like creamy.
Moving to New England was the move for you then, huh?
Yeah, I have found that I do love the clam chowder.
I don't like clam chowder, but like chicken, like corn chowder, chicken corn chowder.
Some bacon in it.
Creamy dumpling, chicken soup.
I like dumpling. I just like tomato soup. I'm I'm a simple man with simple tastes.
I'm a big fan of beef stew. I like to make that this.
Whoa, that's stew.
Yeah.
We're talking
I
about
know.
soup here.
That's
Stay
fucking
focused.
cheating.
Sorry. God damn it.
The purpose of this
Sorry.
podcast. Come on.
Okay,
Soup
anyway.
fan cast.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to our soup podcast. Soups-a-roos. Keeping it soup.
All soup for you.
Oh fuck.
Anyway, Dead of Winter.
Oh yeah, I couldn't remember what the fuck the story was. What is happening? So the Winter's Claw, it's they're starving, right? And they're trying to get food, and it's mostly an action piece of them hunting it's like a mammoth. I don't remember what it's actually called. And Olaf's there, and they're hunting that mammoth. And
I would have liked if that's where you ended it.
And Olaf's there.
Olaf's there.
soup. They hunt the mammoth. They do kill it, but it falls off a cliff, and then it's like the ice beneath it cracks, and it falls into the sea. So they are. This is mostly a Sejuani piece. Said they kind of return from their hunt with no food, and they're kind of faced up against the problem of like the winter's going to come, and it's going to be the shittiest winter in a fucking while, and we have no food. What are we going to do? And then Sejuani kind of remembers this story about Ornn's soup pot that, like, once if you eat from it once, it fills your belly. They've got like some guy who's like got no arms and legs or whatever. He's like an invalid. He hangs out with them, but he's like knows the story. He supposedly has eaten from this soup pot. So Sejuani kind of resolves to like, we got to roll the hard six. We're gonna climb the fucking mountain, which the Earth Sign are on, and we're gonna take Ornn's soup pot for us. And she's telling, like, at the very end, she's telling to Olaf, and she's like, well, the rest of the tribe's not going to like this, but this is what we're going to do. And he's like, yeah, they're not going to like it, but I love it. So,
That would be a glorious death.
Yeah.
yeah.
And during this story, Sejuani is talking about the warriors of Lokfar and says, its warriors were typically rangy, lean, and stoic. Shedding blood alongside Olaf the Berserker for many years had taught Sejuani that he was none of these things.
He's big, beefy.
Oh, God.
She doesn't say that, but, it's implied.
They do say that he's so big that people will kind of, like, joke that his mama must have laid with a troll to get him that big. But they don't say it to his face.
Goodness.
Yeah, they said he's
He
as
looks-
big as Sejuani is when she's mounted on top of Bristle.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God. He looks so very tiny in League. And not like I know Galio is massive compared to what you see in League, but he looks big in League. Olaf just looks like a little twink.
Damn. Shit. Yeah, I
I
think
an
it's...
insult. I'm just saying.
No, I mean, it's hard because with Galio, like, you can... When they're, like, really big like Galio, that's one thing. But when they're in this, like, weird kind of in-between space like Olaf, like, I would not have known that if this story in particular had said it. Because even in, like, Shadow and Fortune, they're like, oh, he's big. But it's like, okay, yeah, he's, like, big compared to, like, Misfortune and
Whatever. Yeah.
shit. Yeah, not, like,
Right.
as tall as a person riding, like, essentially a horse almost, right? Like,
Yeah.
That's
I
big.
feel like that was like the whole reason why in the call they had like a glacier fall on top of it so that he could just have it break off his shoulders. They're like, oh, I see.
He's a big boy.
He's
Big beefy boy.
he's a big boy, he needs soup.
He's gonna need 2 spoonfuls of soup.
Oh, man. But yeah,
Yeah.
I like
This
the
is,
action in this.
Yeah, it was very cool. This was unfortunately also example 2 of Olaf slowly stalking a big creature that would have probably given him a great death if he had gone for it. This one I'll excuse a little bit more because he's working more with Sejuani in the Winter's Claw on this one, and she kind of made it clear, like, hey, cut your shit. Because it did look like he was going to go in at one point, and she's like, no.
Yeah, yeah. That's a little bit of a hard like thing to kind of what is the thing where you make two things kind of work together? I don't know. It's like
Dissonance.
weird that yeah, it's a little dissonant that he wouldn't ignore her when he thought this is it. I would like maybe if you were gonna do something more with his lore, get into that relationship a bit more and why it is that he,
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Because if they've been fighting together for years, I mean, Olaf's not heartless at this point. You know, like we know, he's still a human man. You know, a big one, but I mean, he's got a big heart.
And she, and it's never fully explained, but it is said that she is like, at this point, she's the only one that we know of that can cut through his Berserker haze just by talking to him.
Yeah.
That's true.
She's kind of like the fucking, the
What's her name for the Incredible Hulk?
exactly.
Yeah. God, what's her
she's the
name?
Black Widow to the Hulk.
Oh, I was thinking of like, the love interest and
Oh no, I was thinking of Black Widow when she like would do his like, sun's going down type
you put your
fucking
hand
trigger
up, so you were
speech.
like doing like the Velociraptor Chris Pratt.
She
thing.
fucking does that to it.
I was thinking like, Liv Tyler. What's her name?
Oh.
I'm loving this weird mix of these things that y'all are
It's
combining here.
800 different Incredible Hulks. I'm not like a comic book person. I'm so sorry. I know she's not just Liv Tyler, but I know the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk best.
That's my Hulk. You choose your
That's
Hulk when
my
it's your turn to pray to Hulk.
You go ahead and choose what's his name all you want.
Fuck.
Now, when they're hunting too, it said an animal this size would feed the Winter's Claw for a week. They also say that they had been stalking and hunting it for a week. It seems like kind of diminishing return.
You know what? She's not good in like the long-term logistics. The KPIs just don't line up for Sejuani. No.
Also, real dick move from Sejuani here. The mammoth is laying down, and she says, "Get up. You are a king of the Freljord. You don't die on your knees." And then when it charges her, she fucking smacks it in the knee with her flail to knock it down again.
That's how they do in the Freljord.
Like, if you're gonna knock it down, just let it stay down. Don't make it get up just so you can take its kneecap out.
Bible don't say nothing about kneecaps.
Sejuani is a real big
some
fan.
classic Firefly.
Oh, that's what that was a reference to.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He didn't say it that way. He was more eloquent when he said it.
Right? Doesn't the Bible have some specific things about murder? It does. Pew, pew.
A little less
It is
specific.
somewhat
on
less
the subject
specific
of-
about kneecaps.
Yeah.
Well, John, you really have it memorized.
All the cool kids do.
That's
So
a
am I
pretty
not
good line.
cool?
Right? So moving on to the next note I
Honey.
Sensing an opening, Sejuani asked, "Are you ever going to tell me why you went south?" "No," said the Berserker. "I don't think I will. Some tales are best left in the past."
Yeah, they
Yeah.
Yeah, we all want to forget about the Ruination
Oh,
Sentinels.
I thought you were talking about how he goes down on her.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, no,
I
no, no, no.
see.
Never mind.
he would talk about that with her. They're open in their relationship. They have nice communication. No.
their
He
love
really-
story is what Nunu read about when he was talking about,
Yeah.
the barbarian kissing the war mother.
And the War Mother kids was like, yeah. You know what? I would, okay. Now that you're saying that, you know what I would like to see is I would like to see Sejuani meet up and to see kind of like him as like a weird foil or parallel to Tryndamere. Because Tryndamere also has battle rage shit that goes on.
I like that.
Yeah. Maybe not even a romantic thing with him and Sedge, but just like, because it's weird because like they have just more of a loyalty relationship, whereas Tryndamere and Ash have the romantic thing. And and so you could I like that idea.
Well, we found our next story. But can Olaf be the lead? Don't make him the sidekick in this one.
Oh, and then Tryndamere also. I'm sure he's also a sidekick in all of the stories he's in.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna guess.
Probably.
I guess we'll find out when we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trindalof. That's their...
That
Olamir.
shit. That's
that
spoken
one
for
better.
already.
Olamir?
Basically,
I'm confused.
Olimar from Pikmin.
Oh,
I thought this was
wow.
gonna be another Firefly thing or something.
I was thinking Warcraft. I completely fucking forgot. Jesus.
Is that the guy's name in Pikmin? I didn't know.
Yeah.
That. You only know that's the
Well,
Super
Spaceman.
Smash Brothers. Don't act like you've ever played Pikmin.
I mean, even though I hadn't played it, I knew his name was Olimar.
Oh, well, John just knows everything about video games.
That isn't...
We really got to start video recording these because that was great.
Yeah.
Next up in canon stories that are canon, no matter how much you don't want them to be, we have Rise of the Sentinels.
I'm glad you have just one little bullet point on this, because I cannot take going over it again.
So my bullet point on this one is go listen to our Ruination episode for our thoughts about Olaf and Rise of the Sentinels, because they're not great. Reading Shadow and Fortune, I thought the Sentinels of Light storyline would have been a great opportunity for Olaf to stay true to his word in Shadow and Fortune and come back to Bilgewater, knowing that this is like a yearly thing that he really wants to be a part of. So I thought it would have been really cool if they actually ran into him in Bilgewater again, but nope, wasted opportunity there too. They just met him in the Freljord, like fucking whatever. He passing gases out of his orifices.
Random,
You know how he does.
Yeah, fuck.
I keep forgetting that he's in it, to be honest.
I mean, I don't, because like he's got that gas thing might be one of my least favorite things about it. But it really
That's fair.
God, it really is impressive how like we are so far removed from that thing, and just it continues to disappoint in new and exciting ways.
I know.
I didn't even think
that
about
is truly. If that's the only screenshot I remember from Rise of the Sentinels, is that shot of Olaf, and it says that he passes gas from every orifice in his body.
Every orifice.
Every one. His eyes
fucking
farting.
eyeballs. Just
Look, all I'm gonna say is farting dicks, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. All right.
Oh, Mark, I didn't even go there. And his little foreskin would flap.
Why did you have to get so specific?
Because the visual popped in my head, and it was Mark's fault. And so it had to be in your head, too. Not your, John, you were collateral damage. I'm really sorry. And so were everyone who's listening to this podcast right now.
That's some shit you should see a doctor about. Man.
I'm just curious. I'm so sorry to whoever wrote that line, truly. But I'm curious if you thought it was the funniest thing that had ever been written. Because, I've been there. I write comedic novels, and sometimes they're not all winners, But I'll think it's the funniest shit that's ever been written.
I'm going to say 90% chance it was written by Vladimir Cole. That's my guess. He was the riot.
The vampire? You're going to correct me on the fact that Vlad's not a vampire. But
no, he was the...
he's actually a blood hemorrhager, or whatever they're called.
He was the head of Riot Fund and Propaganda, which was an actual department they had. And he was basically like the PR guy. And he had put on the website that you could take a tour of the Riot orifices. And we used to get player support tickets about it all the time. Like, hey, did you know there's typos here? And we'd reach out to him and be like, it's not a typo. It's a funny joke. I'm not fixing it. It's a funny joke.
Working as intended.
Wow. What a cut. Like that's honestly, that could be it. And everyone else was like, please, can we please take this out? Please, for the love of God. And he was like, no, I am the vampire of this office.
He just hissed at them.
That was trying to think like True Blood. Anyway.
Anywho, I want to learn a little bit about old Vladimir.
Sure. Do we have any final thoughts? I don't think we have any final thoughts on.
Old Olaf.
Olaf. Olaf.
We haven't gotten to old Vladimir yet. I'm sorry.
Oh my! Yeah. I didn't even Oh jeez. I didn't even hear you say that. I thought he was trying to make a wordplay joke with old Olaf, and it would just be Olaf or Oldoff. John's just nodding at me, and he's giving me like the eyes. It's like, I love you so much, honey, but shut the fuck up.
You're so pretty.
The head is empty, but the face is nice. Thanks, son.
So, old Olaf bio.
I'm so lucky I have just a huge rack.
This bio actually starts remarkably similar to current Olaf. He's still a Berserker. He's still part of the Lokfar. They had that shit locked down even back then. But then he was on his way to plunder a distant world known only to legend when a storm kicks up, and then he finds himself just south of Demacia. And he said, this unfamiliar place stunned and frightened the Berserker, for Lokfar is not privy to such potent magicians. Approaching them, Olaf hoped that they could use their mysterious powers to send him back to his people. A bargain was struck. Olaf would use his awesome prowess as a warrior to serve the unusual wars of Valoran in the League of Legends. And in exchange, the sorcerers would find him a way to return. Despite his participation in the League, Olaf knows better than to trust the finger-wagglers that run the Institute of War. He deliberately keeps details of his life and home from them. After all, with enough information, they would most certainly find the Lokfarians and dominate them, as they have dominated all of Valoran, keeping both quietly and unwittingly in their thrall.
So Olaf was just hanging out, and he got like Wizard of Oz out of his home.
Yeah.
That was their explanation. There was a storm, carried his big old ass out of his region and into Demacia, was it?
Yeah.
It happens to
Where
Frog.
he is somehow the only person who managed to see the early corruption of the Institute of War. He's had he rolled a nat 20 on fucking insight.
Yeah, for being this like, I don't want to say idiot, but like this like Berserker caveman who's like who's been like Encino-manned into like Demacia.
He was afraid of the magicians, but he saw the political intrigue.
You know what also doesn't make sense about that is that he's working for them so that they can find a way to get him home, but also does not want them to find his home. It makes no fucking sense.
Open a portal, but don't look.
You promised. Fuck.
No pixies.
Pinky swear it.
The highest, yeah. Oh, man.
I'm just amazed that their explanation was there was a big old storm and then he was in Demacia. Womp womp.
Man. Isn't this so much better? Like, I know he doesn't have a lot of lore, but isn't it like, hey, he's got like an
it's way
actual
better.
thing that he, like a motivation, not just like, it was like one of those things where they couldn't think of an actual thing to do with him. So it's like, hey, he's from this other fucking place.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And I wonder when we'll get Lokfar on the map.
They'll change it. It'll be an island somewhere that no one
I
leaves.
think it is on the map. You're talking about now,
Is it?
right? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's on the map of Runeterra, actually. There's a peninsula in like northwestern Freljord.
Neato.
It's kind of like the left
Freljord.
wing that is the Anivia, that is the Freljordian continent, or not continent, region. I don't know.
I really haven't looked at the map very much. Is the Freljord shaped like a Nivea?
I think it is. If you look at
That's
it,
cool as shit.
it is super cool. I fucking think it's super fucking cool.
Just nerd out over the shape.
You
of
said
this.
that. You said that like you've been telling people nonstop this, and everyone's just been like,
And
"Yeah,
everyone's like,
fucking whatever, Mark."
This guy and his fucking Anivia stories.
So stupid.
Maybe it's 'cause, like,
It is
when I
cool.
was-
You're right. I keep telling Sarah, and she laughs at me. She doesn't give a shit.
Says, Mark, stop fucking talking about the Freljord. Come plug and please feed the baby.
And then you just tell the baby about the Freljord.
Oh, man.
Now he shows up in two Journal of Justice
Oh,
episodes
Jesus.
or issues, both in the
Issues.
Mailbag of Justice.
That was beautiful. Thank you for
Thank
bringing
you.
that back.
Thank you. Issue 11. While summoning the champion Olaf during routine matches, this summoner has heard him mention his fondness of long beards and large belt buckles. Other champions seem to share this, such as Zillion, Gragas, and Gangplank, the latter of which
Zillion.
obviously follows a similar trend as Olaf. Has the Journal of Justice witnessed any encounters between these champions? And then they say, funny you should ask this question. Marolife. Oh, that was his name, Marolife. I was like, the fuck? My notes are hard to read from here. I've been drinking. Gragas recently invited the Journal of Justice staff down to the Lamplighter Inn in Noxus for a promotional event for his wildly popular brewery. After more rounds of graggy ice than would be proper to publish, our beloved bearded champions got into a heated argument about the intricacies of facial hair grooming. The disagreement erupted into a brawl that nearly leveled Noxus's Vixalian Square, only to be abated by the promise of a beard brawl bowl at a later date. Gragas has been petitioning the League to allow the fight on the field of justice, with only bearded or mustached champions in the lineup. Although the League does not have a history of allowing personal grudge matches onto its field, perhaps it will make an exception for its highly regarded champions. I imagine that Nox's commercial district would certainly appreciate staying intact for another decade. I don't know if this ever happened.
I don't think
but
this
clearly
did.
they were trying to set it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess like they couldn't get any hype around the beard bowl.
The beard off.
The beard off.
The beard brawl bowl.
It's a mouthful.
I mean, it happens at the same time as the puppy bowl, and I mean, which one are you gonna watch? Yo, I haven't watched a puppy bowl in years. We gotta watch that
this year. Next up, issue 22. Someone said, I'm curious about the origins of Olaf and Brand. I'm curious if the origins of Olaf and Brand could give us heightened insight on the true extent of the Rune War's effect on our world. Have there been any efforts to talk to Olaf in particular to compare histories and see if any of the world-shaking effects of the Rune Wars had repercussions even in Olaf's far-off and mysterious continent of Lokfar? And if so, what were they? And then basically they said...
They said nothing. They were like, "Oh shit, we didn't think about that."
We said some shit.
What are the Rune Wars? Someone Google it.
Honestly, that's basically literally the Olaf. Since he arrived at the League of Legends, has notoriously withheld information about Lokfar. I've seen firsthand what happens when someone gets too nosy, so I opted to speak with Brand instead. And Brand was basically just like, I don't give a shit about you mortals. Like, why are you asking me?
I forgot that old Brand was from, like, was possessing somebody from Lokfar as well, right? Like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he's always been from the... We were doing Lodal, and we put in Brand, and it said he was just from Runeterra. It didn't say he was from the Freljord. And I was like, excuse you.
Me?
Yeah. Actually, Lodal. Brand is from the Freljord.
Oh, man.
But that's all the old lore we got. We got a few cinematics. We mentioned The Call. That one's canon. Which is, I mean, if you haven't seen it, I find it unlikely you haven't seen it. But if you haven't, it's an amazing cinematic that picks up right where Dead of Winter leaves off. And it looks like things are not looking great for the Winter's Claw in their quest to get the mighty soup. Although during Dead of Winter, Sejuani was mentally pretty excited when a few warriors died, since it would be less people to feed. So maybe her and Olaf being the only ones to make it out isn't so bad.
Sure.
Although, if they make it out, then they're also going to have unlimited food. So,
I
it's a
want
win-win.
soup
All right.
so fucking bad right now.
It's an Olive Garden up there.
We actually kept joking that Olive Garden was going to be our first date night after the baby got here, and you know what? I'm still fine with that.
I still
being
want that
yeah.
shit.
It's not even good. I don't give a fuck.
And then he also shows up in the Rise cinematic, where there's a big stone Olaf that makes the bridge that's used by Ambition to get into the Vayne Uzi fight.
Nice.
Cool.
Which is, I imagine, has to be a very confusing sentence if you haven't seen the Rise cinematic.
I feel like most people probably have, right?
It's like you're speaking another language.
Next up, we've got some quotes. Not a lot, because he obviously doesn't have a lot of quotes. But I guess speaking of Simpsons, he has a quote that says, "Urge to kill rising," which is a Homer Simpson reference.
God, I did not watch The Simpsons very much. You're really throwing in references.
Oh, man. It's a good one.
I did.
That's
I've watched a
good
bit.
Treehouse of Horror.
Had some friends as a kid that liked it. I was just edgier. I liked South Park.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
You're so
shit.
fucking cool.
I'm so cool. Or I was. I don't like South Park anymore. But back then, I was super cool.
So cool.
You say ass and damn to your parents. You say shit.
Oh, I said that for you. My parents didn't give a shit. But yeah.
Broloff has a few quotes. I came here to kick butt and drink graggy, and it looks like I'm all out of graggy.
Do Nukem, right?
I like how you reference what they what that's actually from. I feel like I never knew what that was actually from. That's just like so that's from what They Live.
They Live.
Yeah, you're right. That's from They Lived.
It's just been mocked, or not mocked.
That's what it is.
It's been referenced.
Referenced, that's the word, so many times that I would not have been able to tell you what the hell that's from. I've also never seen They Live.
And then he's got another quote that says, "You can't arrest me. My dad owns a dealership," which is an Aqua Teen Hunger Force deep cut.
Holy shit. Dude, I used to fucking love Aqua Teen Hunger Force before I'd ever even smoked pot. Were you watching it yesterday?
It's fucking good, man. It is funny.
It's really funny. It's honestly very good.
But yeah. You guys ready for some fucking AUs?
I am. Let me get those skins up on my screen.
Did you want to talk about the...
That sounded so dumb.
Oh, no, AUs. Yeah, you'll talk about it. Never mind.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll talk about it.
Okay.
I don't know what you're referencing, but you bet I'm going to talk about it.
Okay.
Why did I ever doubt?
So this isn't... The first two things I'm going to talk about aren't technically AUs. One is Olaf versus everything, which... I mean, he fights a lot of people, and I never bring it up in their episodes, but since it's like a comic about him, it's worth bringing up here.
Sure.
This was kind of a community collab comic series about Olaf fighting everything. He encounters lots of champions, most of which are decked out in their AU outfits of some sort. He fights through like the monster hunters, he fights through like the Bilgewater skins and all that, and it's basically just like a fun comic of him fighting random shit.
Yeah, really fun premise.
Yeah. And then we have Brolaf, the king of Bromacia, which doesn't have AU lore, but it does have its own live-action trailer starring the voice actor of Brolaf, Logan Margulies.
There's a bra in this splash art.
What?
Dirty.
Oh, I thought you meant bra like B-R-A-H, because he is a bra.
There's a bra.
There's a lot of bra.
Chug. Oh, shit.
Yeah, at the time, Logan was a lawyer for Riot when he did the Brolaf thing. He then moved in to become the director of player support. But yeah, he was the voice actor, and he was also starring in this trailer. The sound quality in this video is fucking choice. It really sounds like somebody set a laptop on the table and just let the audio.
And you know what? That's probably what happened.
Also, in this video, you see a Nunu Willump cutout with like the original Nunu Willump art. I have a picture of myself in front of that same cutout from when I was doing my interview there. I got a picture of it so I could send it to all my college friends who were playing League at the time.
You'll have to send that to me. We can post it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Were you going to say Mark? Sorry.
I said neat.
Oh, I thought you were going to say... I'm sorry.
I fucking said neat.
You really gave me some tune there? I said neat, you bitch. No, just kidding. Okay, anyway.
There are some gems in this video, by the way. Nikasaur makes an appearance in this video.
Oh, God.
Brolaf immediately quotes the My New Haircut YouTube video, which was very hot at this point of time on YouTube.
Shit.
He walked through the door and says, "Not now, Chief. I'm in the zone."
I don't remember. Oh, my God.
You get to see baby Alex Yee, executive producer of Arcane in this video. You get to see Jeff Jew get iced. Remember when icing was a thing? You get to see it happen. It's the whole video's gold.
God. What a time capsule.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, if you want, as sad as it is, if you want to know what the company culture was like at Riot, like it's this video, which, I mean, this video was a parody, but that was it.
Shit, I mean, I think that's like internet comedy, like humor culture even at the time.
Yeah.
Like that's like the part of the zeitgeist, which is fucking weird to think about. Almost.
Really?
Not our proudest moments. You know, we went from Neopets to this and have some regrets. Anyway.
All right. First actual AU, we've got Marauder.
I don't think I've ever fucking seen this skin.
A horde of nomadic warriors with a taste for brutality, the Marauders are all that remain of the Mage Lord warrior culture, their ancient traditions abandoned in favor of anarchic shows of force. No dispute is settled until blood is spilled, even within their own ranks. They lost sight of what led their ancestors to war in the first place, and what ultimately led to their victory. This one is Marauder Olaf. Well, a lot of this just restates Marauders are the remnants of a brutal regime known as the Mage Lords, who conquered more than half the world at the dawn of civilization. Though their empire has long since crumbled, its remaining armies now wage endless wars, seeking death and glory wherever they may find it. And we've got... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm so sorry to every skin that was released after Broloff, because it's like, why would you buy or have or use any other skin besides Broloff?
Right?
The culinary one.
Even Pentakill gets blown the fuck out, right? Like...
Yeah. Although I'm looking at Pentakill, the Lost Chapter Olaf, and okay, hi. I've never seen that one. Anyway, sorry, Marauder.
No, we're past Marauder.
Oh,
we're
shit.
on to Culinary Masters now.
Okay. He's real beefy in this.
Culinary Masters, the incredibly popular cooking competition reality series, is streaming now, everywhere, on all platforms. Ooh. All 1,000 episodes from each of the 50 seasons, even Culinary Masters Superstars and Celebrity Culinary Masters. Start binging today.
I know it's a joke, but I would binge the shit out of this.
I like this like cooking. I guess I didn't realize there was a cooking show. Is this the first one in this that we've done?
I think Leona was in there. Barbecue Leona's part of this.
Akali is also part of this.
Okay, I guess
But I don't think we were doing skins
We weren't
yet.
doing skins when we got to Akali.
Yeah. I don't remember the mention of the TV part, Leona. Maybe I just
No, me neither.
I got distracted because there was some joke about brisket or something that really fucked me up. I remember that.
Probably.
This one's Butcher Olaf. He's the maestro of meat, the barbarian culinarian, the great northern butcher of the winter's claw. He's here for alimentary victory or literal death. Give it up for Olaf.
His arm looks like a sack filled with potatoes.
Ooh.
It's just so lumpy.
Next up, we got Dragon World. Set in a world where dragons roam free, each champion's either allied with the dragons or against them. Dragon World officially encompasses 3 skin lines: Dragon Slayer, Dragon Trainer, and Dragon Master. And this one is Dragon Slayer Olaf. A savage berserker from the hinterlands, Olaf sought a warrior's death in slaying dragons. One by one, the horrid beasts fell to his axe, and rumors even tell of him consuming the heart of a dragon he beheaded. Truth is, this act has only fanned the fire of his rage, driving him to bring about the end of dragons.
Who's in this splash with him?
I think it's Diana.
Diana?
Diana.
Thank you. Sometimes I can't tell who people are in skins.
Face
Your
blindness.
skin face...
What?
Skin face blindness.
Yeah. Ew. so gross.
Next up, we have the canon skin, the Ruined King.
The Ruined King. Yay!
Boo, 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 boo. The black mist gathers, the harrowing comes, and the Ruined King has risen once more. Viego's corruption blankets Runeterra, turning friends into foes and bringing entire nations to their knees. The only ones with the power to stop him are the Sentinels of Light, an ancient order led by Senna and Lucian. They must call upon champions from every corner of the realm to fight back the Black Mist and end the Ruined King's reign of terror, once and for all.
Yeah, whatever.
So on Sentinel Olaf. After a vicious encounter on the Freljordian front, Olaf's convinced to join the Sentinels to satiate his hunger for battle.
And farts.
It's in there. Only then would he have the power to challenge Viego, the greatest threat the world has ever seen, and satisfy his urge to fearlessly face death in glorious combat.
More and more started sounding like, what's his name from Adventure Zone? Angus.
Excuse me, sirs.
Excuse me, sir.
Glorious combat, please. Then we got Glacial, set in a world where each champion is a creature of ice or snow. So in the Glacial Olaf, the villagers thought it was an avalanche. Then they saw the axe.
Is that it?
That's it.
Wow.
That's
okay.
Glacial for you.
All right. Woo.
They should call this Snowloft.
From the AU that brought you, that's no glacier.
Glacial. An AU where champions are cold. Olaf.
And finally, gotta clear my throat for this one. Pentakill.
Leaning back. Let's go.
Whew. Pentakill is also a virtual band in real life, comprised of League of Legends champions, which are performed by numerous musicians. Each member of the band has a skin corresponding to their Pentakill alter ego, which is styled after modern-day heavy metal music. In a realm consecrated to dark and uncaring gods, where mortals clash in a ceaseless, bloody saga of metal, one band rose above all others, Pentakill, chosen of the noisome host. Now revered in temples and arenas across the land, their supremacy has become absolute, though a time of change is approaching, and the cycle may soon begin anew. So Olaf was actually the last one to join the group. So the other four, Mordekaiser, Sona, Karthus, and Yorick, they were off massacring folks all over the world, and then when the demonic quartet finally reached the frozen wastes of the Freljord, tribe after tribe fell, the howling abyss howled for mercy, and villages were set ablaze until the whole world was ready to burn. Looking for a celebratory drink, the four entered Runeterra's last standing bar and found it empty, save for one man. Olaf was not in a sober state, and challenged the biggest of you blanks to an arm wrestle. I don't know what swear they put there. It's X'd out. I'm assuming you fucks maybe.
Bitches, I would think.
You
The
friend.
Maybe
biggest
bitch.
of you, bitch. You use bitches.
Use bitches to an arm wrestle. Yorick stepped up and the duel began. Legend states the two were locked in arm-on-arm combat for days, sustaining themselves with whiskey and peanuts. Finally, Karthus, bored of the deadlock, offered Olaf a place in the band. "I'm only good at hitting shit," said Olaf. "Perfect," rasped Karthus. "You shall be our drummer." So after one live show in the Freljord, Mordekaiser accidentally went berserk and killed the whole crowd. And in an effort to stop the rampage, Karthus gave Olaf the order to drum the World Splitter rhythm to bring down the Icy Realm's highest peak upon Mordekaiser, while the band fled to escape the wrath of the Freljordian battle queens. And though it went against every instinct he possessed, Olaf did not stay and die under the mountain with Mordekaiser. With Yorick heading south, Olaf's favorite drinking partner was gone, so to mourn his survival of what he always believed was to be his final performance, he sought to drink himself to death with the deadliest booze of Runeterra. He found a fellow named Gragas and ended up in the depths of Zaun with him, drinking potent sump cocktails, bragging of his glory days, and daring chemjacked thugs to take him on. He readily found ways in which to ply his trade as a professional hitter of things, and soon found himself embroiled in a underground golem fight club. Up against chem-powered golems, Olaf found his natural talent for pounding drums was also good for pounding mechanical giants to pieces. He sought out the most dangerous opponents in fight after fight, eventually falling under the metal hammer of Drago, one of Victor's most lethal creations. Just as his foe was about to deliver the death blow, a piercing wail shattered the crystalline globe containing the golem's transplanted brain. Bellowing in rage at the denial of his death, Olaf surged to his feet, ready to pound again, when he found himself face to face with the skull of his old lead singer.
Oh, shit.
The band reformed. So this one has a few cinematics associated with it. Mortal Reminder is the first one. Set in Bandle City, the Pentakill group just absolutely fucking rocks the Bandle City Yordle shit. Mordekaiser's huge, walks through tons of buildings. Olaf hits a bunch of shit. He's real good at it. He's got a wailing drum solo. It's cool.
Yeah.
And Teemo gets kicked.
Fuck
real
that
good.
town up, man.
And then we've got Pentakill 3, The Lost Chapter, which is a full 45-minute long video with interactive concert with audience participation, full animation of all the songs, culminating in a boss battle against Viego.
And Mord's dump truck.
Mord's dumper. And
We can't talk about Pentacle and not talk about Mordekaiser's booty.
it's true. That's facts. Viego also calls out some content creators during the show, including Tobias Fate and Necrit. That was fun.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Thanks, Viego.
Yeah. And that's it for use.
Yeah. Can I say that whole like plot line of him becoming like a washed up drunk with Gragas down like in the like I feel like that could be a fun thing to do with him. Like if you ever conclude the Winter's Claw shit, he's still alive. Have him go do that shit. That's like genuinely fun. I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
I like that.
Because that's like some shit he would do.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Pair him up. I think Gragas would be a fun person to pair him up with. I like the idea of thinking that you can get a glorious death from drinking yourself to death on like the world's deadliest.
Yeah. Like at this point, he's accepted his fate that no one's going to beat him in battle. He's got to find another way.
The only one that can beat me is me.
I love that.
Yeah, that was interesting. I didn't expect it to go that way, I will say.
Now, there are not a lot of fun facts.
Aww.
I've just got a few.
They're all sad facts.
Olaf is one of 23 champions without a single ability power ratio on any ability. His dance references the Techno Viking, another classic YouTube video.
I don't know that one.
We'll watch it later.
We'll watch it later.
Oh, sure.
We'll watch it.
We'll definitely
when we
remember.
watch the call.
Yeah.
In another April Fool's Day patch, he was jokingly listed to receive a skin called Erlof,
Oh, I need that one.
which was going to be an Erf Olaf skin.
Yeah.
And the reason he is Pentakill's drummer instead of Trundle, who was also up in the running, was due to a player base fan vote.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah, which I didn't know either.
Interesting.
Neat.
Everyone got Olaf, not Trundle.
Yeah. There's just not a lot of facts about Olaf because he's an old champion. I mean, we didn't mention it either, but like even like normally we'll tell you who wrote the bio. Not only is it not credited, like most of the bios aren't, but it's not even credited on the wiki, which most bios are. It just says author unknown. That's
Yeah.
how old
Yeah.
this bitch is.
Yeah, and that's even like with the remake, like the rework or rewriting.
Yeah.
Yeah, to like add Sejuani in and shit.
Yeah, post Institute of War.
And have him not get swept up by a tornado to get to Demacia, where the fuck it was.
The Wicked Witch fucking cackling at his ass. Was the voice actor credited? 'Cause that's
I didn't see it.
I was gonna say that's also a sign of someone being really old. Is like they'll often have unknown voice like VOs.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
But yeah, so if you wrote the Olaf bio,
Or if you did
hit us
Olaf's
up.
voice.
Or if you did Olaf's voice,
It's actually
let
the
us
same
know.
person.
We'll give you the proper credit that you never received on the website.
Right.
Well, that was Olaf. How we feeling?
Hey, I think there's potential. I feel like we haven't said that word.
Oh, we
in the last
haven't
couple
said that in a
episodes.
while.
But I think there is
Yeah.
potential. It's a very straightforward character concept. And it's easy enough to write it. And I think they're just not interested in doing a lot in the Freljord or with like the battle of the three sisters right now. So as a result, he also is kind of left just looking for soup.
Soup.
That's the noise it makes when you pop the lid off. It's like, ooh.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for listening to our Olaf episode. What? Stop fucking looking at me. We have a Twitter. It's at Loreheads. We also have a Twitch, twitch.tv/Loreheads. John streams, mostly. Every Saturday. He does TFT every other week, and then some random indie game. He picks a different one. And then I will occasionally stream sometimes. I'm not committing myself to any day anymore. I have no idea.
But if you follow us, you'll get a notification.
Yeah.
It will always say the same thing until I learn how to change it.
Oh, like the message that goes out to followers.
I've been the only one streaming for like 4 weeks, and the notification still says, maybe John will join us later on.
But then you're there, and they're like, "Oh, we did." So it's a nice
What's
surprise.
wonderful is he never Googled how to change it or
No,
anything, because that's
never.
how I figured it
Because
out.
I always forget, and then
Yeah.
I it's too late. I've been at my computer for so long. I'm just done.
It's fine. We post these on YouTube. John has some parody songs there as well. We have a Discord if you want to chat and whatnot. And we have the Patreon. Thank you so much to all of our patrons.
But a very special thank you to our Medarda and all chat tier patrons. Chloe Things, Kindred Enjoyer, King of Hearts, Mylect, Rel, Shupa Moustache, and Techno Robert. You were all amazing, and if you were being attacked by a raging Olaf, I would stop him. I wouldn't beat him, but I would bring him to a standstill because you can't kill Olaf because he has plot armor.
John is the most powerful being on Earth.
Yes. I don't like to brag about it, but like, you know.
Sure, hon.
You want to? I can do 7 push-ups right now. I swear to God.
Okay.
Don't make him do
Please
it.
join us. Please join us next week because we're going to talk about one of my favorite champions, the Lady of Clockwork, Oriana.